Probably see me panning a little bit, just kind of panning the area across the street there. As you saw in my previous videos, I mean, there is quite a bit of good area for a possible Sasquatch around here, including back that way where I went the other day. It's kind of partly cloudy out here today. Talking about maybe some rain tonight. But yeah, this the thing is, there's plenty of food sources for something like a Sasquatch back there. There's all kinds of animals that they can catch and eat. And pecans, you saw the pecans I filmed the other day, back that way. And if worse comes to worse, they can start eating on that bamboo right over there. They can eat on that bamboo over there. And there's all kinds of plant life, edible plant life that Sasquatch can eat if it needs to. So, and there's plenty of shelter back that way. And of course, the water source is just right over here. So, yeah, there is a good possibility that there might be a Sasquatch in this area. Now, I base this on strange sounds that I've heard. I also base it on some things that I have found around here, which are difficult to explain. The things that I have found, well, they're not footprints. I haven't found any footprints. I've found vague impressions which could be footprints. Some of the things I found included some twisted, or that tree pattern back over that way. I mean, of course, that could have been done by weather, I realize. If you look across the street, you might notice there's looks like a stalk of bamboo bent down. It might be hard to see from here. Now, of course, it could be done by the weather. It could be done by the wind. I'm not going to say a Sasquatch did it. I mean, I've heard strange noises around here, which, of course, could be coyote. Now, I realize I sound like I'm backtracking a bit, but really I'm not. But one time when we had a cat that got way up in a tree, 30 feet in a tree, and he normally didn't do that. So still to this day, I don't know how that cat got up in that tree. I have no idea how the cat got up in that tree. Do I think a Sasquatch did it? It's possible. I don't know. But, excuse me. It seems a little unusual. Plus, there was a couple of years ago, there was a branch that was knocked down out of a tree, and there had been no wind, the night before or anything like that. No bad storms, so somehow it got knocked over, or knocked out of the tree. But it's only circumstantial evidence, as I've said. And then here recently, this back here, this this stick that was either jabbed into the ground or attempted to be pulled up. But I'm not going to call something, if it is, as if it were. If it's not, rather, as if it were. It's just circumstantial evidence that possibly a Sasquatch did it. But of course, I always remember what could be also could not be. I always remember that. So I don't. It's very circumstantial evidence. I mean, I've found more evidence down the street a quarter mile from here than I have up here. When we used to live down the street, down that way, I found footprints and had a few possible glimpses of something. My sister actually had a few glimpses herself. She actually had more sightings than I did. But she said that she had seen things down the street here, including where she said that one looked in through her bedroom window one night. But again, it's circumstantial evidence that there might be a Sasquatch around here. I'm not going to say one way or the other. It's just circumstantial evidence, which sort of leads me in that direction. Does that absolutely mean yes, there's a Sasquatch around here? Not necessarily. But from what I've heard from others, there is a bit of there's a little bit of history of sightings. Apparently, according to Jim Grant, aka Bear, there was a sighting not very far from here several years ago. There have actually been two sightings. One right here close to Boyle, and one out close to the Sunflower River. And then recently the GCBRO had in their database where someone had had a what you might call a sound encounter, or well, not necessarily a sound encounter, but back in the 50s, something had been heard walking in the woods close to the cotton fields, and then something or someone or something apparently tried to get into somebody's house over there close to the Sunflower River. Plus, my mother said that she heard a second or third hand account of people working in a field, a rice field, down quarter mile down the street from here. And they said that these workers said they saw an upright walking bear walking at the edge of the field, walking near a patch of forest, which I suspect is a Sasquatch habitat. Only one problem with that: there are no bears in this part of Bolivar County, and they don't walk upright. Or if they do, they don't walk upright very far. So again, it's circumstantial evidence. But again, I always remember, what could be also could not be. So that's just a few reports that I've heard around this area. And again, it's always possible. So who knows? You know, there's always the possibility.